In this video, I'm going to show how you can generate PDFs of nested repeating groups in your Bubble app. You'll see here we have a page where we have a top level repeating group called repeating group location, and then a nested repeating group called repeating group building. And the source of the data in this is actually the parent group's locations building. So each of the locations, north side, south side, east side, and west side, they have an unknown number of buildings within them. You can see north side has 2, south side 3, 2 for east side, and 1 for west side. But once we've set up our PDF generation, we're going to be able to generate a PDF of that page, and everything's going to be really nicely laid out. So you can see here when we open up our PDF, we have our first location on one page, we have our second location on another page, and so on. And each of the buildings is also nicely formatted, so we don't have any nested repeating group cells that are getting split across pages. So I'm going to go through all of that in this video. Okay, so in this video, we're going to be setting our nested repeating group up on a separate page in our Bubble app. We're then going to generate a PDF of that page using DocuPotion. I'm not going to go through all the details of getting the PDF generation up and running, just because I have other videos on that and it's pretty well covered in our documentation as well. I'm really just going to focus on the nested repeating group aspect of generating the PDFs. Maybe to start off by just going over our database structure. If we go to our data types, there are two key data types we're working with. The first is location, and it has a name, but it also has a list of buildings. And this list is an unknown length. So there might be one building in a location, or there might be 3, or there might be more. And then the building data type, it has an address, it has some images. And if we look at our actual editor, you'll see here we have our top level repeating group, which is the repeating group location. And then we have the nested repeating group, which is the repeating group building. And the source of the data for the nested repeating group is the parent group's locations building. And again, looking at it in our Bubble application itself, we have location number 1, north side, 2 buildings, location 2, south side, 3 buildings, location 3, east side, 2 buildings, and location 4, west side, only 1 building. So let's go to our dashboard page, and this is where we're actually going to trigger the PDF generation from. And again, I'm not going to go through how you set up all these steps, it's covered elsewhere, just focusing on the nested repeating group element of it. And you can see here, we're creating a PDF of the nested repeating groups page. And I just want to remove some of the page break stuff for now, and we will come back to it. So delete all that. Let's refresh our application. And when we click create PDF, we're going to tell DocuPotion to generate a PDF of that nested repeating group page. It's then going to return it, and the user is going to open it in a new tab. And we'll see here, it looks pretty good at the start. We have north side, building 1, 2, but then south side is starting down here, and this building is getting split. And then we have, the building here starting on page 2, but ending on page 3. So there are 2 big things we need to improve with this report. The first is, I'd like to start each of the locations on a new page. So we have north side, and then south side starts on a new page, etc. And then the second thing is, I really don't like this behavior where a building group starts on one page, but then continues on the next page. I'd much rather, if it's going to be split, I'd rather just start it on the next page. But let's deal with the top level repeating group first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my nested repeating groups page. I'm going to click on the design tab, and on my top level repeating group, I'm going to add an ID attribute to it. So you can see here I've actually already done it, and it's RG break 1. You will need to enable ID attributes in your settings if you don't already have them done, but add an ID attribute to the top level repeating group. It doesn't really matter what you call it. But I'm going to copy that, and then back on my dashboard page where I'm creating the PDF, and then I'm going to go on to my create PDF action that comes with DocuPotion. I'm going to scroll down, and in this field here, new page per cell, I'm going to add that ID attribute. And what this instruction basically does is it tells DocuPotion, look, when you're generating the PDF, start each of the cells in that repeating group on a new page. So let's take a look. We'll create PDF. You will notice I'm using this kind of loading screen here just while the PDF generation is taking place. I found that's kind of a nice way just to let users know that, look, it is happening. It takes a few seconds just because there's a lot going on with DocuPotion, but that can be a nice kind of user experience touch. Okay, straight away, this is looking better because I can already see last time we had 4 pages, this time we have 5 pages. So let's see, we have location 1. Location 2 is now starting on the second page, which is good. Previously, this was starting at the bottom of the first page. We have this still being split, which we will have to come back to. We have location 3, and we have location 4. So that's a good start. I now want to deal with this nested repeating group cell being split across the 2 pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my nested repeating groups page. I'm going to go to the design tab. I'm actually going to delete this HTML just because it's quite key and I haven't kind of, I want to reconstruct it in a minute just to show you how it works. But I'm going to go into my nested repeating group, which is here. And I'm going to go into the group container, which I've kind of put within it to house all the content. And I've added an ID attribute here called Smart Break. And what a Smart Break does, and you could actually call this anything. I might just call this target RG, copy that, but we're going to put it in the Smart Break field on our create PDF action. So again, edit that workflow on the create PDF action. If we scroll down and down, quite a few ways you can customize your PDFs. But yeah, we have our Smart Breaks field, and I'm going to paste in that ID attribute there. And if you read the instructions, what a Smart Break does is it basically says to DocuPotion, look, if that element is going to be split across pages, just start it on a new page. If it's not going to be split across pages, just leave it as is. But if it is going to appear on, the bottom of one page and the start of the other, no, I'd rather start it on a new page. So let's test that out. Click Create PDF. So the key thing we're looking out for here is building number 3 on the south side, because that's the one that's getting split at the moment. And this PDF has just been created. It's been opened up in our browser. Okay, south side 1, 2, and yeah, you can see this time the third building in that nested repeating group is now on a new page, which is good. But it has created another small issue. If you look really closely, and if you look at the previous building, you'll see there's a bit of padding at the bottom of the images are rounded, whereas that's not the case here. And what's actually happening here is this content is getting cut off. And this is just down to a kind of quirk with how Bubble lays out pages and how PDF generation works, but there is actually a solution. If you go to the DocuPotion knowledge base and you click on troubleshooting, there's an article here called Pages Getting Cut Off, and I'm actually basically repeating this video in this article. It formed the basis for the video. But if you scroll down here, it basically says the solution is to add a HTML element to your PDF page and then add the following code to that HTML element. So I'm going to go back to my nested repeating groups page. I'm going to grab a HTML element and I'm going to put it, I can put it anywhere on the page. I'm going to put it right at the bottom outside of the repeating group. I would actually put it beneath the repeating group rather than above it. But what you can do is make this tiny, make it 1 pixel by 1 pixel. That's all it needs to be. You do need to ensure it's visible on page load, but you can make it absolutely tiny. I'm then going to copy this here. I'm going to paste it in to my HTML element. And I do need to change, just going to delete that space. I'm just going to change this part here. This is kind of a placeholder ID attribute of group getting cut off. And I'm going to replace it with the ID attribute of the group that was getting cut off, which in our case was actually this group here. And you can see we've already assigned it the ID attribute target RG. So I'm simply going to put that in to my custom HTML here. And now, whenever I generate a PDF of that page, we shouldn't have that cut off element at the end of one of the pages. So let's just give DocuPotion a second to generate one more PDF. And let's open it up. And again, we can see the next location starting on the next page. We have a footer here. And this time, building number 3 is not getting cut off. So we have it nicely split onto a new page and we don't have any missing content. Yeah, that's kind of what you need to know about generating PDFs of nested repeating groups in Bubble with DocuPotion. One final thing is that you may need to do a bit of experimenting with which specific group you apply the custom HTML to. In our case, we applied it to this group nested RG container group. Sometimes it might be the parent group, sometimes it might be the child group, but you just need to do a bit of experimenting. But yeah, I hope that's been useful. If you have any other questions on anything covered, do let me know in the comments below.